Hi there. So in this video, we're going to be learning the 4 major chords that are used in 50% of all songs ever written. And so we want to start with basic chords to get you started so that you can start playing. And so when we take a look at the neck here, we take a look at each, you can see these lines here. Each one of these indicates what's called a fret. So we have these frets that are separated by these. You might have metal, you might have wooden inlays in here. And so each one of these is a fret. And these little white dots that you see here, that sometimes are also marked on the top of your neck here, so that you can see it from the top instead of having to look over the side. You can see that this is fret number 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marked with a dot, 6, 7 marked with a dot, and it continues up. I am playing a tenor ukulele, so it's slightly bigger. And I also have what's called a low G string on mine. So we start with we have our frets here, and now we take a look at our strings. So our strings are all tuned so that we have a low G. I have a low G at the top, which is actually string number 4. We count from the floor to go up to string number 4. So, but string number 4 is our G. That's where we start at the top here. And I have a low G on here. The next string is a C. The next string is an E, and the last string, or the first string, starting from the floor, is an A string. So we have G, C, E, A. And if you're looking to tune your strings, these are your tuning pegs. Make sure you turn the right one. I'm notorious for turning the wrong one when I'm trying to tune it. And you turn towards you to go down. You roll them up to go higher. So you want to have a perfect G, and you can use a tuning thing like this. So this little thing will show you if you're tuned properly or not. And there's a red side and a yellow side, depending on which one you're using. So you want to get right in the middle of that range. If the note sounds too low, that means you are flat. If the note sounds too high, the note sounds sharp. And if we hear people singing and they're off key, or not off key, but off the tune, they could be flat and they could be sharp. So to get a perfect sound, you need to be right in the middle of that. So when we tune this, we have our G, which is, again, the 4th string, the top string. C, which is our 3rd string, which is indicated by the top notch here, if you follow the string. Our E string, which is this guy right here. And moving on to the bottom string, which is string 1, starting from the floor, is our A string, G, C, E, A. And when you combine the string with the frets, you can actually play a full scale. So C, open string, no fingers, C, but then we have to start putting our fingers down to start playing notes. So that's a D, E, open string, and F, G, open, B, whoops, sorry, wrong string. Now eventually you can add in picking notes, so once you learn what your notes are on each of those. But when we're starting to play and we just want to start with simple chords that are easy to play, that last picking string I just picked is a C. But in combination with these other strings, you actually get the full C chord, because all of these notes involved create a lovely C chord sound. So that is our very basic starting point for our scales, for our chords. So this is a C chord. So again, if we're counting the strings, start from the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're starting on string 1 at the bottom here. And what I like to do when I'm positioning my fingers, I often pick the finger that fits that fret. So fret 1, finger 1, fret 2, finger 2, fret 3, finger 3, and fret 4. So in this particular case for that C, I'm putting my finger right there, first string, 3rd fret. So that is your C chord. Now we're going to move on to another chord that is very easy to play, and that is an A minor chord. So this time it's my 2nd finger, my 4th string, the one at the top, on the 2nd fret. So I'm going to put my finger all the way up at the top, and there's a nice A minor chord. Another chord that we use is called an F chord. So we're going to put our finger on the F note. So we're going up 2 strings on the 2nd string, and we're going to play the 1st fret, but we have to add our 2nd finger up here on the top string on the 2nd fret. Can you see that? And that is an F chord. So when you're playing, our ukulele is actually made, humans are made to play ukuleles. Look how nicely your hand fits in there. So your hand here in the crook of your thumb there, in the V, that's going to nicely cradle your ukulele. And what I want you to get used to is curling your fingers over. So don't have straight fingers. And sometimes we use straight fingers to bar chords, which means we're pushing our finger down on all 4 strings at the same time with only 1 finger, which means we need the strength of our thumb in behind to give it that strength. So in this particular case, for that F chord, again, 1st fret, 2nd string, 2nd fret, 4th string, the one at the top, and we're curling our fingers over. And in behind on the neck is your thumb is pushing against the neck. So that allows you to get some strength on those strings. See if I pulse it there? You can see my thumb is moving as well. So that allows me to get good pressure on those strings to get a nice sound. If I don't have my strings pushed down very well, you're not going to get a full sound. So that is the F chord. And then I want you to practice to transition to the G chord. If you take these 2 fingers for your F and just rotate your hand, you can skip your fingers over, so you're rotating. And now I need you to put your 2nd finger, 2nd fret on the 1st string, your 1st finger up here on the 3rd string on the same 2nd fret. And to get a G chord, the 4th chord that is used in 50% of songs ever written, is you take this ring finger and you drop it in between the 2 below on the 2nd string. What a lovely sound. So we have string 1 on the 2nd fret, string 3 on the 2nd fret, and put your ring finger over top on the 3rd fret between the 2 on string 2. So elbow out, elbow in, whatever makes you comfortable. So let's review that. We have string 1, fret 3 is our C. String 4, 2nd fret, is our A minor. String 2, 1st fret. String 4, the one at the top, 2nd fret, is for our F. and then jump over and switch for string 1 and 3 on the 2nd fret and drop your ring finger in between for that G chord. So if you want to practice transitioning, because when you first start it might be hard to see that all those fingers and positions you have to change. So if you want to practice the jump between an F chord and a G chord, you play your F and just jump your fingers over and only put those 2 fingers down on the 2nd fret on string 1 and 3, and just back and forth until you get a good, quick, just keep practicing until you get quicker at transitioning, and then it gets pretty easy to drop that finger down in between. So as long as you start transitioning between the F and just the 2 fingers on the G, once you get good at doing that for practicing transitioning between those 2 chords, add that 3rd finger on the 2nd fret or 3rd fret 2nd string to get the full G. So now we have a C, an A minor, an F, a G. So C, A minor, F, G. And don't worry about your strumming at this point. Practice getting your chords first and your fingering on those chords, and just pull down with your thumb. Sounds like a C. Sounds like an A. Sounds like an F. Sounds like a G. So you'll want to practice your chords first before you get into strumming patterns. And I'll have a separate video on strumming patterns, and you can check it here on my video channel. Okay, there's your C, A minor, F, and G chords that allow you to play almost 50% of songs ever written. Okay, see you soon.